For this tutorial, I will show you how to get good lighting for LEGO animations in Blender. This is part 3 of my tutorial series, so make sure to watch the other videos in the series if you have not. First, you're going to want to go to Render Properties, switch the renderer from Eevee to Cycles. Now, Cycles is normally better for LEGO animations. Now, the second thing you're going to want to do is go up into the corner here, drag down to open up a new window. Then switch it to Shader Editor. Okay, then the next thing you're going to want to do is switch it from Object to World to see the world's properties. You're going to want to delete the background, which is X, and then do Shift A, and then add a texture, and then an environment texture, which what that is going to allow you to do is use an HDRI. I don't really know how those work, but they're really cool, and they normally give you the most realistic results. Go to the link in the description, which should be HDRI Haven. It should take you to here, where you can select an HDRI. Different HDRIs give drastically different results, so make sure to pick a good one for your scene. And now you're just going to want to locate your HDRI file. Open that, and yeah, there you go. Now what you can do is you can close this a little bit and view it in rendered mode. Okay, there we go. Let's move on to the render settings. So for the render settings, the renderer is by default set to an insanely high number of 128, which if you have a beefy computer, that is not insanely high. But for the average laptop or computer, this is really high. That seems to work. It's the same as the viewport, so it'll look just like this. This is really noisy, so turn on adaptive sampling. What that does is areas that it detects will not have noise, it will not do any samples on. Then open up denoising and click render. You can add the denoising to your viewport, but that will take a while to load. One last thing for the render settings tab. Go down to where it should say performance, and there you can set the tile size or how many pixels it renders at once. It may work best on 64 pixels or 128 by 128 pixels for your computer, and a good way to know what is a good size for your computer is just to go into Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, search Auto, and it should show Auto Tile Size. Click that, and then click Save Preferences. And now you can just select Auto Tile Size. It'll automatically pick the best size for your computer. And now go into this tab, which is the Output Properties, and the resolution. I have found that not many tutorials on improving performance and render times utilize this. This is what helps the most besides putting the render samples down. So put this to 1280 by 720, and that will be 720p, which I think works. That's pretty much it for the render settings. Yeah, there you go. Oh, one more thing. You can put you should put the frames per second down to something like 18. You just select custom and then put in your number, which 18 works. You can put 15 or even 14 or 12 if you want it to look like real animation, which a lot of the time is a little choppy. It just gives it that more realistic feel. Plus, it will put your render times down. But I found that 18 works pretty good. And set an output file of where you want your animation to be saved. Now, if you're happy with your settings, you can go up and click Render and click Render Animation or Render Image, depending on which one it is. Normally, these renders will take a long time, especially if you have a lower-end computer, but set to these settings, it should take overnight, unless it is like over a minute long, and it should take like a night and a day. It just depends on how long it is, but if it's under a minute, then it should only take like, I don't know, 4 hours, 8 hours. And then if you have really, really low hardware, maybe 12 hours, but it should be good. And that is all for this tutorial, so bye.